We have breaking news at this hour. Homeland Security Director Kristi Noem has been rushed to the hospital. We will have details in a moment. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. And we thought Kristi Noem was already having a bad week. Last week saw the handcuffing and detainment of U.S. Senator Alex Padilla during a press conference conducted by Director Noem.
I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the Secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your heads off.
How many of our ICE agents have been doxxed for doing their duty, how they have been targeted.
Surprising nobody, Padilla spent most of the weekend recounting his experience to the press and leveling harsh criticism at Kristi Noem.
Democrats say that Secretary Noem should resign. Is that where you are?
Look, that's maybe not my focus right now, but I do think there's some serious questions. How does the cabinet secretary not know the senator from California when she steps foot into Los Angeles? She came through the Center for confirmation at one point, and certainly, how does the Secretary of Homeland Security not know how to de-escalate a situation? It's because you can't or because they don't want to, and it sets the tone. Donald Trump and Secretary Noem have set the tone for the Department of Homeland Security and the entire administration in terms of escalation and extreme enforcement actions.
One last question.
Before her hospitalization, Noem endured more criticism this week as Padilla took to the Senate floor.
But if you watched what unfolded last week and thought what happened is just about one politician and one press conference, you're missing the point. If that is what the administration is willing to do to a United States senator for having the authority to simply ask a question, imagine what they'll do to any American who dares to speak up. If what you saw happen can happen when the cameras are on, imagine not only what can happen, but what is happening in so many places where there are no cameras. Colleagues, this isn't about me. In fact, it's not just about immigrant communities or even just the state of California. It's about every single American who values their constitutional rights. It's about anyone who's ever exercised their First Amendment rights, or anyone who's ever disagreed with a president, or anyone who simply values our democracy and wants to keep it.
Needless to say, Kristi Noem is not having a good week. This, of course, also comes after more than 6 million Americans took to protesting over the weekend against ICE raids against immigrants and Donald Trump's abuse of power. And it may all be too much for Ms. Noem. Just minutes ago, the story broke that Noem suffered a violent allergic reaction and had to be rushed to the hospital. CNN has more.
Breaking news just into CNN. Sources say Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem this afternoon has been taken to the hospital. I want to go straight to CNN's Priscilla Alvarez. Priscilla, what are you learning about this?
Phil, we're still trying to gather details. What we know so far is that the Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was transported by ambulance on Tuesday to a hospital in Washington, D.C. One source telling our colleague Holmes Librand that she has been conscious at the hospital and has spoken to her security detail. We have also reached out to the Department of Homeland Security for any comment or additional details about what transpired here. So again, so far we know only that she was transported to a D.C. area hospital by ambulance. Today, we are still trying to learn more about her condition, though a source did say that she is conscious and she has spoken to her detail. Phil.
Priscilla Alvarez.
At the time of this report, we have no further updates on Noem's status, what caused the allergic reaction, or what the prognosis might be for her health. As someone with violent allergies myself, I can tell you they are nothing to be trifled with, and I've been sick for weeks following a bad reaction. Noem might face the same kind of health hangover. It's also important to mention that just because she has suffered a health emergency, that in no way negates her violations of civil liberties as Director of Homeland Security, makes her immune to criticism, nor should it prevent anyone from calling on her to resign her job. Public opinion has turned overwhelmingly against ICE, and just earlier today, masked ICE agents arrested New York City Comptroller Brad Lander. As a reminder, ICE agents are not supposed to have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. For more on that mess, see our other videos here on the channel. As for Ms. Gnome, I do hope she recovers soon and keeps some antihistamines on hand. I also hope that she has the good sense to take this opportunity to resign her job as Homeland Security Director to make way for someone who actually wants to, obey the law and offer due process. She can always say she's leaving for health reasons. We'll have more on this story as it continues to develop, as well as all the other important issues of the day. This is Occupy Democrats.